Good morning, fellow punters. The clock on the wall says 13 minutes past 8, a good bit later than I had hoped for, but it took me a long time to get organised. I'm up since 7 o'clock, and between looking at this and that and the other, and one thing leading to another, and it takes a while. Somebody asked me at the races last night, how long does it take to get set up to record? I said about a half an hour. It took longer this morning. Very great morning, sunshine, just like it was in Ballybrit yesterday evening. There was a shower of rain, a couple of showers on the way through Dunmore and outside Tuam. And there was a shower when I arrived at the track. I was there about 4:30. And then it blew up a great evening altogether. So a big crowd. Not a good few that watches the channel. Ger Murphy from Wexford, a yellow belly. He's living in Cork now. He said his wife is from Doris, so he was familiar with the roads I travelled on recently on my travels down south. Keane Costello from Galway. He said that Lee Shaughnessy was after going off looking for a wheelbarrow, that he had done the one in storage, that there was a bad wheel on it or something. David O'Gorman, another local from Ballybrit, was chatting him for a few minutes. I actually missed the start of a race when I was chatting him, so I meet him again. And Paddy Kelly from Kilglass, he was heading into the owners. I think he had a share in some horse. I forget what he said it was. If I'd stayed loyal to a couple yesterday evening, we'd have had a couple of winners. I said in the video the most likely winner of the big race was teed up, and yet I thought a lot of joy was more or less certain to be in the first six. Just scraped into six. Got a iffy ride, sort of. It was too far back, or she was. Teed up, won for us last year. And never a dull moment as well. That was, went out 8-1 and had money for it all day. There were two, one we won on and one we lost out by a nose, and I backed it a couple of times. We had 5 places, I think, yesterday evening. A star traded slight odds on and running on the turn for home, but didn't found it. I picked that because of heavy ground. HMS Seahorse as well. I backed that at the course at 25s, and I didn't realise there was such money for it. I didn't see that and I was watching, and it finished up in SP at 10-1. So all we need is one of those, you see. I do always go for sort of outsiders. All we need is 1 or 2 of those during the week to clear us. So hopefully we might be able to get 1 or 2. So Goodwood is on as well today. So there was a lot of... I spent a couple hours when I came home last night. I wasn't home until just after 11. So it was too late to put it up at 12 o'clock. The eyes was too tired. So I'll stop blabbering on and I'll get out of the way. First race today at Goodwood is the 140. Navello, he won for us the last day at 25-1. So we'll have to stay loyal. He was 9s last night. It won the dash in Epsom. I'm not playing too many videos, just a couple. I'll be out of your way as fast as possible.
From one night stand, Navello is running on strongly. Behind those Silky Wilkie. Inside the final furlong, Clarendon House is now being claimed by Navello on the far side. Near side, Silky Wilkie. Navello has won the dash. Clarendon House and Silky Wilkie.
I have to stay loyal to any horse that went the 25-1 for us. So they're paying 4 places there, but a horse that I tipped up the last year each way as well as Raasel, and I actually think Raasel has a right good chance in that as well, because it's both of them are drawn low, which is suitable. Raasel is a bit was plying her trade, or his trade, in higher class races behind regional and that. So there's me 2 against the field and that. In the 250 is a maiden. I'm not so sure about it. This is the 250, the Chesterfield Cup race. In the John Smith's Cup, if you look at, just as I'm before I play it now, at the very back, this is Millebosc.
Rear the field,
as now they begin to make the run on towards the final mile. And it's towards the inside that Marie's Diamond and Jason...
Let's fast forward a bit. Still last on the rail.
Alongside Certain Lad. Then... Is staying on together with Falak, then towards the near side.
It's weaving his passage through.
Now inside the final 2.5 furlongs, and Pride of America on the near side claims the lead over Nobel, who tries to go with him toe for toe. Haunted Dream is hanging tough in third. Scampy now in fourth. Long Tradition. Then towards the centre of the course, staying on is Astro King. It's Nobel and Pride of America the first two, with a furlong to go in the John Smith's Cup. Pride of America just has a lead over Nobel, rallying now. It's Haunted Dream. They've now got another 100 yards to go. Pride of America needs the line. He's still out in front. Lunging is Astro King. They hit the line close. Very, very tight. Pride of America the near side.
It finished 7th. I backed this in France 2 years ago. It was behind in the French Derby. It was behind St. Mark's Basilica a couple of years ago. I went for the time in Deauville in the Group 2 when it was coming back in from Group 1 to Group 2, which was behind Dubai Honour. So I've kept an eye on it since. I was watching it the last day. There was a bit of money for it. So I thought it was a better price 2 days ago. It was 6-1. I thought it would be a solid each way bet. Each way play has gone now, so it's a win bet. Where are we here? The Vintage Stakes. I think it's between the top two in the market. Haatem, who ran on well in the Coventry, wasn't it? In Ascot. That was over 6 behind River Tiber. It closed well that day, if you want to have a look at the video. And then the last day it was behind City of Troy, the new kid on the block. But with 7, the step up and trip will suit the way it closed both times in both races. But in the Ascot, in the Coventry, no, in the Chesham, the one Golden Minded in the yellow on the right hand side, it closed strong to the line.
They're inside the final quarter mile. Plenty of chances here. Carolina Reaper, Snellen, Content. And there goes Pearls and Rubies, the white sleeves and cap. They're inside the final furlong and a half. And it's Pearls and Rubies and Snellen now go on for Carolina Reaper, who's battling away. The Moutiers trying to stay on. Snellen in the blue. Down the centre is Pearls and Rubies. Odyssey's flying for the back. Golden Mind is keeping on as well. Pearls and Rubies and Snellen, they're wide apart. They hit the line. Snellen and Pearls and Rubies is close between them. Then came Odyssey and Golden Mind.
Just closing like a train. A horse that closed similarly, one in France, the other, or the elite status. That's my Golden Mind is to pick, and I'm going to do a small reverse forecast with the top two in the market. Where are we? The 4 o'clock. The 4 o'clock, I think it's a 2-horse, well, the betting suggests as well a 2-horse race. Kinross was second in this last year. The ground was different. It was good to Ferrum. It was second to Sandrine, a 3-year-old filly. And there's a 3-year-old there today as well that comes out a pound better at the weights. If you look at the figures, Kinross is, who arguably is better with cutting the ground. I tipped it up the last day at over 6 furlongs. The 7 suited better. But Isaac Shelby won the Greenham earlier in the year, 4th the last time in a Group 1 to Paddington. Now, that's even money without the favourite. And the other one is even money. So in a situation like that, I, rather than trying to give the bookie money, it's gone 4 to 5, now 4 to 6, it's 10 to 11. It was even money earlier. The Shrewdies are on. but it's going to be a 2-horse race. Probably the most likely winner is Kinross with cut on the ground. I don't know how soft it is, but Isaac Shelby won on soft ground as well. Where are we here? Oh, the big race of the day. Courage and Mon Ami won the Gold Cup. It beat Coltrane. Emily Dickinson won in Ireland since be fourth in the Gold Cup. But I'm staying with Coltrane. I think the difference is the other one hasn't ran on I think Courage Enemy was suited more so by the top of the ground the last day than Coltrane. And Coltrane back and trip won't be a problem, which is in the lead here.
Here comes Frankie on Courage Mon Ami though, building up a big looking effort. They go inside the last now. Courage Mon Ami draws on turns with Coltrane. Courage Mon Ami and Coltrane will battle out the Gold Cup. Coltrane coming back for more on the inside. Courage Mon Ami though, under Frankie, just proving the stronger on the run for the line. And Courage Mon
the same owners own Gold. Oh Jesus, gone out of my head. But because of the going change, they ran this one and they're keeping the other one for the Ledger. It's favourite for it. I'm sticking with Coltrane. Won for us in Ascot last year, 14-1. Won it for us a couple of times since. It's a sort of a soft spot in my heart for it. I know that's not a great idea at times, but I'm staying loyal to it. In the 505, I had one picked out. I didn't write it down. Oh, Expresso. You have to be drawn low in this. And so second in, if you look at it there, it won a handicap race now of 83, and is what now? It's up £5. But to second the last time in a listed race in Pontefract, and it beat the likes of Purple Play, who's rated 107 of level weights. Drawn low, and Johnson does well in Goodwood. That's an each way play there at 10-1. They're paying 5 and 6 places. Jealousy 1 place, or Skybill paying 7. And in the last race, on the last day's forum, that Kittai, it hosed up in, it was the same day, wasn't it, in Pontefract. It was up against the boys. It was in Pontefract today, but Earls was third in this, wasn't he? He was, yeah. It got bit of a weight allowance there. It's back against its own sex, but there's a horse in it I thought was good. They're paying 4 places there, was a good each way play in it, and maybe without the favourite is Executive Decision. I backed this last year in the Birdcatcher in Naas. It was second to Wave Machine, and first time out this year, and first run for Jamie Osborne. It was 5th, a running on 5th to Rhythm and Hooves. You know, that's a decent horse. That was the one that was up against significantly last week. But it runs up the middle of the field.
Coming there with a chance is Radio Goo Goo, as the field have got a furlong and a half left to go. Michaela's Boy Radio Goo Goo, the near side. Kurdos
It's with
is
the
in
blue
the
cap.
middle of the course, coming home strongly, and on the
Right
far side,
here.
Harry Brown and Hayley Turner coming there, but it's Kurdos and Rhythm and Hooves is running on very
No.
strongly indeed to press Kurdos. It is Kurdos in front, Rhythm and Hooves though finishing very strongly under Holly Doyle. Rhythm and Hooves wins. Kurdos second, Conquistador third, and in fourth place that little.
And then it ran fifth. The last one had a good run, I thought, as well. So on to Galway. The first three favourites will probably win today. We now have where do we see? The odds on, aren't they? That Absurde was second to Vauban in Ascot. Won a novice hurl prior to that, so that looks nailed on to win for Willie. Willie had the mystical power look good just. I didn't get a chance to look back on it. It jumped bad, and our one clouted the second last again. But I got off to a good start actually yesterday because I had the reverse forecast and I had it backed without the favourite and I backed it each way, Samoa. That'll should win, you'd imagine. Sharjah's odds-on shot to win the second race. It looks like between two newcomers here in the third race, between Wells Horse, who's Tanoola, and Mayfair. Mayfair is very well bred. So or by Justify, who's going well. So whatever probably goes off favourite, it'll probably win that race. Favourites have a good record in it. The big race of today is the mile race. I think a lot of this revolves around Aidan McGuinness. I think that Tosen Wish is an each way bet. It looks to have been laid out for the race. Here's the day that the favourite is out in front in this race here, but there's three in behind. Let us see, hold on.
Is followed then by Chesamy and Casanova. No more Porter and Farnborough and Superova. Improving on the outside is Cordovan and then Casanova. And how you like that? And Tosen Wish and Zabir next. Blues Emperor and Rami, the stable companions from Gambe Veloci and Chesamy. Zabir runs on the outside of an East Brave Troop. Then how you like that? Still in front. And finding for pressure is Blues Emperor from Rami. Chesamy up the rail. Running to the finish. Blues Emperor sees off all comers from Chesamy. Zabir, Rami next on the inside.
Chesamy is one that's in the notebook for when it runs again, Fozzie Stack's horse. But Tosen Wish, which was one, I think I showed you the video of it before, did I? This is Tosen Wish in last place right now. And this was in its first run for Ado.
And I'm close on the near side. Cheers again. Navaggio, Blair Main is racing over towards the far side. They're tightly grouped with Tosen Wish a few lengths adrift as they continue on.
Watch he makes the beeline across the racetrack to the far side and comes through the pack.
Marquez Panam.
He's still lashed with the red cap, green sleeves.
Ahead. With them a Snap Terrier, Gustavus Weston in the grey and pink in the centre. Down the far side, Blair Main is trying to improve with Cheers again. Navaggio looking for a run. Over a furlong and a half to race. Gustavus Weston comes there in the centre. Near side with the white sleeves, All Lies Ahead. Cheers again, Blair Main over towards the far side, but All Lies Ahead is the leader towards the near side from Gustavus Weston. Blair Main staying on the far side, but inside the final furlong, All Lies Ahead is out in front. Blair Main coming home well, the far side is Earls. All Lies Ahead on the stand side, Earls finishing well far side, and Earls gets up to win the Mellow Hand.
That finished fifth in that race. It had a couple of spins since, ran into traffic problems. it was 25s yesterday evening when it opened first, because saying it would be good each way bet. It won on yielding ground when it was with the Japanese trainer there, and then it won for Joseph O'Brien and then it was bought for a big money. That looks to have been laid out for this race. The mile, you could see, that was at 7 furlongs with Errol's. And the other one in the race, I think, has a right good chance, is No More Porter. Aidan McGuinness as well. And you could say the same for Curtin Doption, but it's a 7-year-old. But that was behind, that was 6th in that race. And it was 7th behind Blues Emperor, but it wasn't that busy. And then Inadequate Trip the last year, money for it, was behind Strike Red. And Aussie Gerald was second in that. That's a good race. And Dexter Furlong will suit. So there's my two against the field. No More Porter at 16s, 18s, 20s there. And Tosen Wish, 12s. Current Option isn't out of it either. A 4-year-old has won that race a good bit. Well, let's see. What... that's the 1950. A 4-year-old won it. Dunham won it last year as a 4-year-old. Maud Gone Spirit, Royal Canford, Make a Challenge. They were all 4-year-olds and they're all carrying at least 9'7", 9'11", 10 stone, 9'13". And falling into that category there is Gambe Veloci, which we backed a couple of times. I'm going on trends and stats. Any newcomers might know that I mightn't know, I should say. So the other 4-year-old, slightly down the pecking order, is Bells on Her Toes there. That won lately, but is carrying a penalty. So Gambe Veloci is the selection in that race. Back to 7 furlongs won't be a problem. It has won at a mile. And in the last race, I thought a horse that was laid out for it is Dabana. It's a double figure price there. It ran recently in Leopardstown. That's it, a grey horse there with the white cap, about 6th at the time.
On ahead of Dabana, inside the final furlong, over towards the far side, the red and white checks of Eastern Wind. Down the near side, Speckled Meadow staying on well. In turn is Tory Angel, 50 yards to race. Over on the far side, Eastern Wind holds on, beats Speckled Meadow. Tory.
That was running on nicely there at the death, and you'd be thinking it should stay up coming up the hill with a bit of gusto. Anyway, I'm on way too long, but there's 2 meetings to cover, so you'll understand why. I've had to get this into the oven. Bash the bookies over and out.